All right, y'all. Now, this is a separate video. I'm going to talk to y'all about the seed starting mix that I use, okay? And I want to show y'all how I do it. All right. So y'all remember in a previous video, I showed a brick of coconut coir that I had. Y'all remember that? And I showed me putting it down in there and putting the water on so that it can rehydrate. So for those of you that may be new or didn't see, y'all go back to that video. I think it's about 2 videos ago. And I showed me rehydrating a cocoa coir block. I think it's a 10 or 11 pound block that y'all will see me working with. Now y'all see this tote here. This tote is a Sterilite 90 quart or 65 liters. That's what size this is. I'm gonna get on the other side where y'all can see. Ooh, y'all excuse me. Y'all, my mulberries is budding out already, the mulberry. Okay. Here's, let me see. Here's this tote. This is that one block. Once you hydrate it, this is how much you get. Okay? And you can see it's still kind of got a little, some tree bark fell in there. But you can see it's still, it's not completely dry. You see where it's darker color? That on top will dry out. But this has been sitting in there going on a week because like I told y'all the day after I did this, that's when my back went out. So I ain't been fooling with this. This has been sitting in here and you see down in the bottom, down in the middle, it's still moist. That's why I like it, because it'll do that in your beds too. It'll dry out at the top so that you don't get no dampening off issues or mold issues on top. But up under there, it will hold that moisture so that your seeds will have enough moisture, but they won't be too wet. So this drains well and holds moisture, okay? I know some people say, oh, well, it don't have nutrition. No, it doesn't. However, most seed started mixes don't have nutrition either. But let me say this too. This is made out of the hairy part of the coconut, the shell and stuff. They grind the hair and all that stuff up, and that's what this is made out of. So this is made out of a plant fiber. So what do plants do over time when we put them in our garden beds? Somebody holler out and tell me. Holler out, I can't hear you. When you put plant material in your beds, they do what over time? Break down. So this does break down and it will feed your soil just a little bit. I'm not saying a lot. I'm not saying use this in place of fertilizer. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you use this in your seed starting mix and you transfer this over into your beds, you're adding a little bit more organic material to your beds, which is a good thing. This is also sustainable as well. Anybody who knows me knows I really don't use peat. I'm not against peat, but if you didn't know, I have a biology degree. The concentration is in wildlife, and we studied peat bogs and how much diversity and stuff is in peat bogs, meaning plants, animals, everything. There are even herbal remedies in certain plants that only grow in peat bogs, and they steadily destroying them to have peat moss for people to grow in. Yeah, peat moss is a good growing media. It pretty much does just about what this do. I grew with peat a long time ago before I really knew what it was. But like I said, we don't own the earth. We're borrowing it from our children or our grandchildren. So please try to leave them something. Let's not We done destroyed enough. Let's not continue to destroy. If we can, I understand sometimes it's all you can get your hand on and all this, or that's what you prefer. Nothing against you. I'm not knocking you, but this is what I prefer for that reason. So this is what we start with. So you see how much it is. This is 2.5 cubic feet. And to give you an idea, I paid like $13 for this, or $12. I can't remember if it was $11.99 or $12.99. It was one of the two. It was something 99. And I bought 4 of them. But you see how much you get. So this is more than enough, unless you start enough seeds for a nursery. Ooh, y'all. Ooh, don't look at me. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I got up too fast. I'm doing too much too fast. But that's what I got for this. Okay, y'all, let me get a little closer. Now, y'all probably remember these. Remember I had started some peas in here, but when I transplanted them, some of them died, hell, and didn't even need to transplant. But this is just some soil that I had. So I reuse, okay? I am not ashamed to reuse. Now, I do take some of these leaves out, because sometimes these oak leaves, if you got them, sometimes they can inhibit your seed contact, because you want to have good seed contact with the soil or your growing media or whatever you're using. And if you're wondering what this soil was before it got put in these pots, it was a mixture of compost and soil that I had reused from different plants or something, like if I happen to buy a plant. But it was mainly homegrown compost, and also some worm casting as well, okay? And why am I putting this in here? Do I have to put this in here? No, I do not. I think I mentioned in that other video, you can grow straight in coconut quark if you just starting seeds. You can grow straight in it. Just keep your seeds moist. They will germinate. They will come up if you start feeding them with a little fishy emulsion or whatever that you might be gonna feed them with. It'll do just fine. But just make sure you feed them with some kind of liquid feed, or you add some kind of amendment as you go to this cocoa quark, because as I said, there's no nutrients in it, okay? Please don't think that your baby seedlings can make it without nutrients. A baby can't make it without drinking formula. Your plants can't make it without them having their formula, okay? I say that because most of the people that watch me got cheering. You know, I'm like the last somebody ain't got no cheering. But anyway, I ain't trying to have no cheering, just so y'all know. Just, you know, I'm not complaining. Because if I wanted them, trust me, I could have them. I know people gonna say, oh girl, you should have some kids. You'll be good at teaching them. I love children when I can teach them and talk to them and give them right back to their doggone mammy. Y'all gonna get mad at me for saying that, but I'm just gonna be honest. Because I'm godmother to a whole bunch of children. But baby, I love it when they go back to their house. Love it. But now I ain't, y'all don't start with me. I don't want no children, because I'm a case in point. Children for what? To bring them into, because I live in America. Now I'm gonna be honest, if I live somewhere else, I would feel a little different, might. And and let me say this too, I'm not knocking anybody for having children. That is a personal decision and a personal choice, and it's absolutely nothing wrong with children. I'm talking about me myself and I. First of all, children is a huge responsibility. And I know definitely when I was younger, I was a lot more selfish. I still can kind of be a little selfish, because I'll be honest, I fought my father for that as well. He was selfish, but he was not man enough to admit he was selfish, because he felt like, oh, once you get to a certain age, you should be having children. And that's what he did, not thinking about, he the type of dude, he don't want to take his time to come to his kid, you know, events or whatever they have. And you see what I'm saying? I think some of it just comes with knowing yourself. You also don't know exactly what kind of child you're going to get either. You could get a child that's just like you and that's reasonable. And you could get a child that you say, I don't even know where you come from, you know? So it's like, you know, it is what it is. But ultimately, the main reason is, growing up, even when I was a teenager, because it was people I went to high school with, they had kids all while we was in high school. And I would think to myself, why would you bring kids into this? You know, I went to a high school with, it was a good school academically, but a lot of the teachers were white, and they were the passive kind of racist. Like, you know, they weren't gonna call you the N word or nothing, but they would be like, you show you know, if you had a dream or aspiration or a goal, you sure you want to do that? Why don't you just drive the trash truck? And I'm just using that as an example, but you get what I'm saying. Like, these people were not people, these were not the good white people, as I call them. These was the white people that you're raised to think a black person can only do certain jobs and things of this nature. You stem from, you know, the people who used us to build this nation for free. You know, you stem from them people, because when, you know, the only difference is you just don't call black people the N word, you know, out and out openly. But in the back of your mind, that's what you know, you don't think that we're even. Like, for instance, when people talk about the Republican Party, like when these racists try to say, oh, well, the Republican Party, they're the ones that let the black people vote. Yeah, they let them vote, but they didn't think that black people were equal. They actually didn't think. And not only that, keep in mind, as soon as slaves became, like, freedmen, I'll say freedmen, because it wasn't all slaves weren't able to vote. Women weren't able to vote. It was landholding black people who were able to vote initially. And then when the 50s and 60s came, that's when people like Fannie Lou Hamer them start coming along and saying, okay, well, everybody needs to be able to vote. You know, the right to vote, it should be a right to vote, and it should be for everybody, not just landholding males. But those initial people voting, think about it. You had millions of enslaved people who just got freed after the Emancipation Proclamation. And those that either aspire to, because understand, a lot of us got free and we had some money stacked off, you know, stacked somewhere. They don't say that and tell that, that we had money stacked off somewhere. And now you able to buy you a little piece of land. Or the Civil War ravaged your owner's plantation so bad to where they can't keep it up. Because understand this, I'm gonna turn the camera where y'all can see me. Try to turn. Try to see. Show you. Okay. We're gonna have history lesson right quick. So understand that after the Civil War, after the Union troops burn up, they burn a lot of stuff in the South. That's why you don't see a lot of plantations anymore. I mean, a lot of them fell in, but a lot of them got burnt down, because the orders were destroy the South. Therefore, that way the South could be dependent upon the North, versus how it had been, where the North was dependent upon the cash crops of the South and slavery. So after all that happened, you had black people that had been squirreling away money, putting stuff up, doing things. Or the plantation owner after the Civil War, sometime they figure out, oh snap, now I gotta like sharecrop. I can't just work these people for free. At that point, those monstrous plantations became very cost prohibitive. So if you wonder why you see huge plantation homes and why did they fall into disrepair, because you didn't have slaves doing every single thing for free. Because I think people forget, the slaves were doing the maintenance on the house. So when the house needed a roof, the slaves did that. When the plumbing needed fixed, the slaves did that. When we got to the age of plumbing, because before then they had chamber pots, the slaves took them out too. When it came to landscaping, manicuring, all of this, the slaves built that. When you had to do a barn, the slaves built that. The slaves built the big house. You see what I'm saying? So when these people say, oh snap, so you mean to tell me now we got to pay these people or sharecrop? They didn't have enough money. I believe they knew from the inception that the only way we really could build this nation is through free labor. Because if we do it the right way and pay people, it's going to take too long. For instance, we probably would have just now been a developing nation if they had a paid from jump, but they did not. So I went to school with, you know, the teachers and administrators. Y'all the descendants of them. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand that black people did everything. Like, for instance, if you haven't ever visited a plantation, please, you and your children, please go visit. I recommend Whitney as #1. The #2 I recommend is there's one in South Carolina that still has the slave quarters. I recommend that one because most of the plantations, the big houses, they tore them down. The third one I recommend is Melrose. That one is in Louisiana as well. Louisiana has a bunch of them. The Carolinas have a bunch of them. A lot of the other states, not so much. Other states do have plantations, but Louisiana, if you go down by New Orleans, it's a ton of them left. But that being said, so if you were to go there and you see these huge mansions and things, I think a lot of people just, oh, the white people, no, slaves built that. You know, and it's amazing how they gloss over it. And the reason I recommended the 3 I recommend is because they actually tell the story of the enslaved instead of just telling it like a fairy tale, like these white people came here from overseas and they built this empire. No, I don't really like going to them because I be working the snot out of the people that work there. So you said, who built this? Yes, the Edwards. And no. Who had the hammer and the nail in their hands? And then the people, they don't like me no more. They try to put me out because I don't let them stand up there and tell me them lies because I know who built it. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say I went to school with the people like them. That's their descendants. Oh, we can't say the N word openly no more. But what we can do is discourage these people. When they come to us with their hopes and dreams, we'll tell them, now just hang off the back of a trash truck. Or just do this or just do that. We'll try to put them in a box and stifle them. You see what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. Lord, not only did my battery die, but we had a visitor show up earlier, so I had to kind of cut that short. It wasn't a human visitor, it was an animal visitor. Quite cute, but you know. Anyway, what is this? Oh, this that elderberry that a lot of stuff got broke out of. But look at this. Oh, but I want to finish telling y'all what I was telling y'all. Like I was saying, y'all, I ain't got time to be having no cheering because I grew up in such a fashion that I kind of already knew that the powers that be here, they have no intention of seeing black people as equals. They have absolutely no intention. And for a long time, I had a lot of hope, you know, but not anymore. It's too many foolish white people, and a lot of the good white people just ain't gonna step up and say nothing and challenge them idiots in a very matter-of-factly in your face. Because I'm gonna be real, the good white people I know, I ask, well, I'm not very confrontational. That's the only thing these dumbasses understand. But see, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I wasn't gonna raise those kids, you know. More power to those people who can. But I'm good. I can't hardly handle it. I can't be raising no kids in this type of climate, and it almost seems like it's just getting worse and worse. Like I said, it would have been different if I had been living somewhere else or something of that magnitude, but I was not. So it is what it is. But that was that on that conversation. But I did off camera. I got finished mixing up the cocoa coir and the soil. Now all of this is not, the whole bin is not mixed with soil as of yet. Try to show y'all. So I'm gonna show y'all. Can y'all see the difference? This right here is straight cocoa coir. This is where the soil is mixed in. So if I go down towards the bottom, it's straight cocoa coir. So you see the difference? About the top third, I have soil and stuff mixed in here. The soil that y'all saw me mixing. So I got about a third of this. And when I get down to a point where I'm starting to see that it's all mostly cocoa coir, what I'm gonna do is, if you look in here, I got worm castings in here. I think I got a bin out there that's complete and ready. But then I got a bucket here too. And y'all can see how gray this stuff is. This stuff has been sitting so long. The worm castings is all right. It's just gray on top. I put a little water in there from time to time to make sure the microbes and stuff stay right. This stuff here is so dry, it's like a powder house. That's completely just dead soil. But I do like to put a little soil in here. And if you see these tiny, these are the small version of these. If you see them at Dollar Tree and you wonder what you can do with them, start your seeds in them. And you can stack them just like you stack those. And it saves time, energy, and space, y'all. But yeah, y'all. Y'all can see the sun is going down over there. It's supposed to rain tonight. So that's why I pulled my little stuff back in there. Back into the greenhouse. And yeah, y'all, I've been feeling better. Thanks for everybody that gave me some tips and stuff to do. Look at my neighbor. Look at Remy running my neighbor ragged. Hey Remy. Anyway, but yeah, y'all, what actually ended up helping me the most was icing. Oh, that icing. I'm finna go in here and ice right now, but I still been icing it. I've been icing 2 or 3 times a day, and that helped a lot. The heat, my body just don't like heat. It's just like when they say use heat when you got cramps, use the heating pad. No, it just makes me sweat and pisses me off. So yeah, the heating, that don't do nothing for me. But the ice was fabulous. Yeah, y'all, I'm almost back. I'm almost done shook back. It's been officially a week since the inevitable happened, and I did want to let y'all know that I figured out what it was too. And I'll probably just kind of touch on that maybe on the next video. Okay, so till next time, see you guys later.